Hello everybody. This video is going to be how to install a binary blob, quote unquote, that you download from the internet. What a binary blob actually is it's basically pre-compiled, pre-configured code. It isn't like you're downloading a source package where you have to do a configure, make, install like that, but it's actually a pre-packaged package. Now, the one thing that I will remind people of is one of the biggest things you have to remember about Linux in general is permissions. Usually if you're having issues, the issues are permissions. The issues aren't anything to do with configuration or how things are related. It's permissions. The package I'm going to use as my example is TeamSpeak 3. So I'm just going to go to Linux and go to the client x86, hit download, go here, I agree, prompted, save file. Should only take a couple seconds to do. Now there is a default like input mask of permissions, and what that means is whenever there's a new file on your system, here are the default permissions and abilities based upon that file. We're not going to go edit that because I honestly feel like having that set up the way it is, it's a very good safety feature. To go and edit it will actually be removing some of the safety away from how Linux works. Okay, while this is downloading, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to launch where I know the file is going to be. It's going to be in my download folders. And what this is, it is actually a audio chat client for different communities and areas. It's actually pretty big in the gaming world. I found definite alternate uses for these audio chat clients, including to do podcast recording of my own. I've had pretty good success with these and all around. Okay, the download is complete. One quick thing to note is the download label for a lot of Linux things. You notice it's just labeled Linux, which immediately should put up a little bit of a flag to new users. There's Debian, there's Ubuntu, there's Slackware, there's Red Hat, there's Gentoo, there's OpenSUSE, there's CentOS. There's a myriad of different versions, all kind of versions of Linux with different desktop environments, different terminals even, different package manager, all these different kind of systems. Yet this service that we're downloading, it just has Linux. Okay, with that said, there's going to be all different kinds of downloads of binary blobs you can get. In this example, it is a .run file. Now, if we just double click this file, it's not going to do the right thing. It's trying to open up this in a text editor in gedit, and it basically, we get an error saying it cannot be opened. And that's because the permissions by default are not correct. So go ahead and right click the file, permissions, execute, allow executing files or program. Just keeping this one thing in mind will mean you can come across a whole myriad of different file types and you don't need to know what they mean whatsoever. You don't need to know the origin of the file. You don't need to know what the file expects. You don't need to know what the file is going to do. All you have to remember is I downloaded this from the internet. By default, it doesn't have the correct permissions. Let me go ahead and give it permissions. When we do, if we go ahead and double click this, in the standard Ubuntu, this is a very common dialog window that will open up. It's basically saying, do you want to display the contents of this file, cancel this process, run, or run in terminal? I typically pick run in terminal when I'm running something for the first time because I want to see what it's doing. Because like in this case, I believe you get prompted with a EULA, right? This is welcome to TeamSpeak. In order for this software, you have to agree to the software terms. To scroll with the arrow key and then quit, hit Q. So if you hit return, you see all this. This is all the licensing. Q to quit. Do you accept the license? YES. Yes. Now what you can see over here is it actually has created another subfolder. Now, because this subfolder and this file was not actually downloaded from the internet directly, but this was expanded from an archive-like file, we don't have to worry about the permissions. If you go ahead and click on TS3 client run script, if you just go ahead and double click that, same kind of thing. First time we're running it, let's hit run in terminal, and we know it just launches. So now if you want for future times, double click it, run, and it just pops up and it just starts working. So that's how you can download and install packages from the internet. A little bit of a plus to it I like. Now this folder is basically movable. I can move it from computer to computer to computer. There still is a local configuration on this computer that will be hidden by default. But then if you want to actually remove the software, you just highlight it, hit delete. It's now gone. The only thing left behind is a configuration file, which is probably less than 20 kilobytes. Really tiny, really small. Okay, we're going to move on to the next video.